Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
What you just heard is actually Arabian, so it means peace be upon you and God's mercies and blessings. What a really good greeting. What do you think about that?
Yes, it feels like home because those are one of the greetings that I would always, greet my friends and families, especially my Muslim friends and families.
Awesome. Well, this is something that is really interesting because we never really talk about like another faith. So the episode for today will be me, Mutia, and
Mikey from Malaysia.
I'm from Indonesia, by the way, and then we have a guest that comes from the biggest Muslim country in the world. And the exact country is actually Indonesia. Well, welcome, Gathot.
Yay!
Yeah. So speaking of your country have the biggest Muslim population in the world. Like how many percent is that? Because in Malaysia it's about 65%.
Oh, we almost hit 90. We were in 90%, but now it's like 87, 89, around that percentage. But it's always fluctuative, obviously, because the people always change not changing religion, but changing numbers, because like birth or death or move out from the country or come back. So it's around that percentage.
Awesome. We will talk a little more about it. But first of all, we just need to introduce a little bit about the guest. And his name is Abiyasa Gathot. And this is his junior year of being in Brigham Young University, Hawaii.
Yes.
How's your journey so far here?
My junior year, oh my gosh, so busy, very busy. I couldn't expect more, but busy. I enjoy it, by the way, because there's a lot of activities here in BYU-Hawaii.
Did you have like a major transition from like going to school in Indonesia and come here?
No, actually, I always in hospitality and tourism because when I was in senior high school, they have vocational school, and I was in hotel school. So I'm just continuing my education.
Okay, so speaking of you being busy, how's your Ramadan so far?
My Ramadan, oh my gosh, I miss all the activities that I used to do during Ramadan. Now I cannot. I usually just do video call with them while they're eating. I'm just doing my assignment or something, but I still can catch the Ramadan feeling here.
Are your family part Muslim?
Only my family are Christian. The rest, all of them are Muslims. Yes.
Interesting.
What I'm saying is my immediate family is Christians, but the rest, like aunties, uncle, cousins, all Muslims.
Yeah, I have a Muslim family as well. So Ramadan is one of the a moment where it's like special for us, and I like looking back. I think it really influenced not only the culture but the daily routine and lifestyle.
That's right.
What do you think about that, Mutia?
Well, I think that is really what I'm living in because we are really mixed family. And then my grandma allows my mother's family to choose like whatever religion it is, as long as you have something to hold on in your life, I'll be okay. So right now we are celebrating it too as a family. It doesn't matter about like whether I'm Christian or some of them are Buddhist and some of them are Muslim. It is really special because we celebrate every single celebration. Well, for all of you who are not very familiar about this religion that we are going to talk about, so Islam is one of the largest religion by number in the world, and we refer the religion as Islam, but the people we call them Muslim. And then this is something that is really important, so you will understand the context. They also have something that is called Ramadan. That is the holy month where all the Muslims are fasting for the whole 30 days. And then by the end of that, they will celebrate it with their families, with a lot of traditions. So we're not talking a lot about the doctrine of
Religion.
the religion itself right now, but we are going to talk about what's the common tradition, because we have a lot of false misinterpretation about people of this faith, and this is not true because we're living surrounded by them, and then they're good people.
They are good people. I love them. I cannot live without them, actually. That's on my perspective.
Yes.
So.
Speaking of that, I really miss listening to the sound of the prayers from the mosque.
Yes.
I think, like for me, growing up, the prayers azan, it's like a alarm clock for me.
Oh, yes.
Once you listen to it, it's that it's time to wake up,
Right.
or and then since I live abroad, a part of me I miss that, like listening to that sound, because it's always part of your culture.
Right. Well, back then, before I started my mission in New Zealand, I never used any alarm. Because every morning you already have natural alarm, like the azan and everything.
Which is so nice.
Yeah, and then during Ramadan though, every morning, if you live in kampong or in village, like me, I live in kampong or in village, they will go around
The neighborhood.
the neighborhood, and they will just smashing, I don't know, wok pan or stock pot or spatula, just to make a noise to wake all people.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they will go around. They will grab those kitchenware, start mashing it, and walk from aisle to aisle of village. In some places, they do what you call with cultural music, but they just do the same thing. So that's one thing unique about Ramadan.
Right. So that is the reason of that is to wake them up.
Yes.
Because they're going to fast for the whole day. They
Yes.
need to eat before. So that is really interesting. I really, really miss that.
And also, speaking of Ramadan, I don't know in Indonesia, but in Malaysia, we usually start our sahur. So sahur is like your very first meal before you start fasting. They call it sahur. So in Malaysia, we will start with eating kurma. What is kurma in English?
The dates, yeah.
Fruits, yes. Not your typical fruit, guys. You need to try it somehow or some way. It's good. We like it.
Yeah. And then we eat that, and then we can eat a big portion of meal, so you could fast the whole day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's before the sun goes up. And when the sun goes up, you need to stop eating.
Yeah. And also, for women, if you are on your period, it's okay for you to not fasting. You can always replace it to another day.
Yes. It's also fascinating. I don't really know much the law of it, but they do have they need to pay back. That's what they said. So which is interesting.
That is something that I really like about knowing all my Islam friends, because they are so faithful in it. Because, we are just commanded like once a month of fasting for our religion, but they're doing it for the whole month, and it's a big excitement for them.
Yes.
Yeah. And then to me, I feel like surrounded by my Muslim friends and family, somehow they inspired me to be a better person. I would say a better person in some ways, like for example, I remember during my childhood we would play outside, and then you know how they pray 5 times a day,
Right.
Yes.
and then there are certain time where they need to stop. They would stop everything during the game just to go home and pray. And then this is me, a non-Muslim kid, would wait outside, and then sometime I would peek through the window and see them praying, and then I would try to understand that, oh, this is how they show their faith to their God. And I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't agree more. Well, there's I never seen any of them like skip, at least in my area. They're really literally faithful, and makes me insecure sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We do pray, or I mean, we do go to our worship house or church once a week. They do it 5 times a day. So big applause.
Yes,
Big applause.
respect.
Insecure in me.
That's very nice, actually. Talking about prayer, I grew up in a school where we don't have a lot of Christian, But this is something that is really important about the tolerance. So they have a prayer that they are doing every 12 o'clock.
Yes.
So they stop everything, just like what we said. So they stop everything, and then the school started to concern. Okay, what about all these Christian students? What are they gonna do? So from then, they just decided to have, okay, since the Muslim are going to the mosque at 12, all the Christians will have a devotional. That is really interesting because you know how sometimes our good example give a big influence for someone, and then how they really apply their religion. It's really nice to see how things can work like that. What is something that is really special in your memory about praying side by side with Islam?
Well, I've read Quran a little bit before. I was in Muslim school when I was in kindergarten. For me, reading Quran is because when they pray, they read Quran, right? And the Quran in my a couple of surah or a couple of verses is just like Old Testament. So whenever they read it, I feel like I read also Old Testament. So I don't really mind pray with them. In fact, memorizing their prayer is actually helped me weirdly, but I mean like such a weird feelings, but it's a good feeling because it's also prayer. It's in Arabic. If you think you cannot say Muslim prayer, you can actually say it in a couple verses because it's just like saying, "Oh, bless me," makes the Satan away from me. So sometimes I use their prayer every day also, just because I know the meaning is good. So if you know the meaning, you can also use it for yourself. So.
Yeah. I went to a Muslim kindergarten as well, and as a Christian, during that time I don't see it as something foreign because I grew up with it. And then this is actually something that me and Gathot, we would always like say to each other, like no matter how I guess life changes, but there is always this one Muslim prayer like stuck in my head even until now. It's in Arabic, and then it's a prayer for before you eat. Like
Yes.
yeah. Do you want to say it,
Of
Gathot?
course.
Okay.
Do you want to say it together or
Yeah,
okay?
we're gonna say it together because
Right.
I it's still stuck in my head even until now.
Okay,
uh,
I'll count.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Allah. Oh, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oh yeah. Bismillah.
Now let me try it again.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma barik lana fima razaqtana wa qina razaqanar. Amin.
Amen.
Amen. And there's also more prayer that we might know also, but like what I said, the example is prayer for eating. It's pretty universal. Bless the food. Thank you for the blessings. Something like that. So we can also use it because we know the meaning.
Yeah.
And it's good. So.
In Indonesia, you guys also learn Arabic, right? Because in Malaysia, so in Malaysia, Malay and English are our national language, but we also learn Tamil, Arabic, and Mandarin. And I remember when I was about 8 or 9 years old, my teacher put me in Arabic class, but I failed that class because I did not know how to write in Arabic. I know how to pronounce things, but that's it. If somebody asked me if I could speak Arabic, no. But most of my Muslim friends back home, they could speak basic Arabic because, the Al-Quran also in Arabic. And if people ask me, all I know is just greeting, shukran, all this basic Arabic. But how about you?
Yeah, so actually before alphabet, like ABCD came to Indonesia, it's Arabic first. Most of the time people know how to read Arabic, but they don't know how to read alphabet and stuff.
Alif Bata.
Yeah, alif bata saja. Yeah. Did I say it right? I think something like that. It's been a long time, but yeah, I was also learning Arabic, but that's it. It's gone.
Yeah, mine is gone.
Yeah.
It's not even beginner level. It's like 0.
It's come back to 0 because we barely using it, but we know how's the prayer goes or how we cannot also read. But if you me, if I heard someone, say Surat An-Nas or Al-Baqarah, and I was like, this one and that one, I know how to pronounce it, but cannot read, cannot write. So
Yeah. How about you, Mutia? Did you learn Arabic in school?
Well, no, I always go to a public school,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of mixed, and then it doesn't require you to take the Islam as a subject to learn. But I have a lot of friends teaching me about what they believe. And yeah, I think maybe if you don't really know how it feels like to live side by side, maybe it's just so foreign. But for me, it is something that I call home too, because I cannot just separate myself being Christian surrounded by Muslims and then say like, hey, I'm from Indonesia and there's no Islam at all. I mean, like, I should put myself in it too. And something that I really admire, one time I had a question to my friends. You know, Indonesia is very hot.
Oh, yes.
We have the sun like all the year. So I asked a question to my friend. Hey, you know what? In our country, this is very hot. What makes you inspired to wear hijab?
True.
So I really admired the answer that my friend gave me. So you know what she said? She said like this. I cannot be perfect in everything. I cannot be perfect in every commandment. But if I can just be perfect in this single commandment, I would do it. So this is the least that I could do to obey my father. So that is really, really inspiring for me because, okay, what are the commandments that we all being taught in our religion? And if we cannot be perfect in that, at least we tried our best to fulfill what we can. It's not about selecting what we want to do or what we don't want to do, but it's about obeying. This is the best that I could do for this time, but I would like to do more.
Yes. What you call hijab? There's also another options for this one only with face, right? Covering
Yeah.
face. Another one is covering
Niqab.
niqab, I think is what you call.
So for head covering, for the Muslims, they have like different kind of styles, but the one that I'm familiar with back home is mostly hijab.
Yes.
I think currently more Malaysians wearing niqab, which is they cover half of their face.
Yes.
And for Malaysia, for myself at least, I know that in some states you are, I would say, required if you work for government or for an official ceremony, you are required to wear hijab. And for me, I do wear hijab sometimes, especially when I visit a mosque back home or any other places. Make sure myself wearing long sleeve and anything that is covered below my knee, below my ankle actually. And I know in West Malaysia, which they have more larger Muslim population, so you could see more people wearing hijab over there compared to East Malaysia.
And talking about obeying law or commandments from God, there's another things that is relatable with us. Because this is BYU-Hawaii podcast, right? Everyone familiar with institute and seminary?
Right.
Can you guys, I don't know about Malaysia. Let me ask Mutia first and then I come back to my kid. Do you know what is similar with institute and seminary? They do it every day also after school.
Really? You
at
guys do
mosque.
it every day?
Oh, we do it every day. Do you know what was the name, Mutia?
Yes. I think I know. No, I know, but I cannot remember.
Okay.
Can you tell me?
So, I don't know the translation in English, but it's called mengaji.
Oh,
Right.
yes,
Right?
mengaji.
Of course, I think Malaysia has
Yeah,
it.
Malaysia
We're
also
neighboring
use
country.
mengaji.
See?
Yes, but for institute and seminary in Malaysia, which is okay, every time I hear people say that they do it almost every day, in Malaysia it's different. We only do it once a week, 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. every Friday night. That's all for Malaysia. However, in some states in Malaysia, especially in West Malaysia, I used to live there. So the church starts at instead of on Sunday, it's on Saturday. So the weekends would be Friday and Saturday, and then weekdays would be Sunday until Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know about in Indonesia, but I know in some states in Malaysia, that's how they do it. So I did attend church on Saturday, like, LDS church, but Saturday, because in those states, they see Friday as a holy day. So.
Right. Well, for institute and seminary in Indonesia depends on the word.
And the
Yeah,
location too.
sometimes it's once a week, sometimes every day. My word is every day, so I feel like I'm doing the same with people who mengaji. Mengaji is basically seminary institute. I don't know how to translate better than that.
Yes, Seminary Institute, they use that term for Christian.
That's right.
Yeah, mengaji is more like for Islam. So yes, we do go mengaji
Right.
every week.
We don't even I don't know about you, but I don't even know the real words in Arabic for mengaji, because mengaji is
More like
modified words,
modified
right?
words, yeah.
We absorb that words into Indonesian and Malaysian. The language similar as well, so that's what we call it. Maybe in Arabic they have the real name or something like that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
very faithful, love it.
Right. So they really deepen their knowledge about the scriptures and how they can apply it to their life. Well, let's go to the topic of cultural tradition. So this is something that is really, really fun about Ramadan month. By the end of it, everyone gathers, and no matter what kind of religion you are, you can be in it. So it's a very welcoming celebration too, not only for Muslim. Okay, what is the most memorable Ramadan story for you?
What is the most memorable? So there's a thing called bukber, or
Bukber?
it's abbreviations of buka bersama, which mean you finish your fasting, you open your fasting, something like that.
Bukbar.
Yeah, we love abbreviates a lot of things. So we will make a plan even before the Ramadan start, maybe like a week or 2 weeks, just to have gathered together. If it can be every day, every day. But if it's once a week, once a week. But that's my most memorable event in Ramadan, because we eat a lot together. We just joking, and even though I'm Christian, but I'm bland with them, so I can talk everything with them, even about religion as well, because they become a little bit religious, or more religious during Ramadan. They're religious, but even more on
Because
Ramadan.
they're trying to be disciplined.
Yeah, and that's very memorable, eating together, talking about maybe not just religion, but just about life. Amazing.
So talking about the people inviting you, do you feel like you're inclusive to their party?
Oh, they will be so happy to invite you. If they have Christian friends, they will target at you, like, you come to our bukber or break the fast.
Yeah,
They
break the
they want
fast,
you
yeah.
break the fast. Yeah, they want you to be there. If you're Christian or another faith, they will gladly invite you. Sometimes they say, don't bring anything. Bring your body, bring your mouth, bring your hand, and just eat. So.
Why do you think they want to do that?
Pahala.
Oh yeah,
For the
for
blessings.
sure. Oh, Pahali's blessings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for the blessings. Just like many other religions, sharing is caring. Sharing brings you pahala, or brings you blessings. So, and it's actually another way for them to do dakwah. Dakwah means preaching.
Preaching, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Christian, you already know, or you are familiar with their teachings. If you guys happen to meet Muslims, don't hesitate to mingle with them, because their doctrine, it's familiar. It's not exactly the same, but familiar on what we know. So.
Yeah, my favorite memory of Ramadan, I would say the Bazaar Ramadan, means the Ramadan market. Yeah, again, just like what Gathot mentioned, even though I'm a Christian, but Ramadan is one of my favorite things to celebrate, just because of Bazaar Ramadan, where I would go to this market and I would buy traditional desserts or just delicious food, drinks, and everything, and then share it with my families and friends. And I think it's just such a wholesome moment, because not only you break the fast, but you kind of like strengthen the community and the family bond. So I love that so much.
Oh, I want to mention something about Bazaar Ramadan. You know, the Muslim people fasting, but we are not fasting, right? So before us in Indonesia, it's 6 p.m. Oh, depends on location. We have 3 time zones. But in Western Indonesia, it's 6 p.m. Before 6 p.m., me and my friends and my family will go out and hunt for iftar. Iftar is the food for breaking the fast. And there's a phenomena where if someone buy food around 3 to 4 p.m., you know they're Christian. Because they don't fast and they trying to grab as much as iftar as you can. We call it takjil in Indonesia, but it's iftar, the same thing. So that's also a nice point. I can
Yeah.
relate with Mike really well.
Yes, and then another fun fact that Mutia will share is something from Elder Gong.
Okay, so this is something that makes this podcast important for those of interfaith, and this is what Elder Gong from the 12 Apostles said. So he said Latter-day Saints should learn more about their Muslim neighbors because such knowledge will help us be more kind and more accurate in what we say and what we feel about each other. So I think this comes back again about the religious freedom. And then you talk about, hey, during this month, just come to my religion and then you know what I would like to share. That talks about like people are free to express what kind of religion they want to be in. They shouldn't be restricted on the country rules. They shouldn't be restricted about, what you can or what you cannot do. But it comes back again about every single person's choices. And we should respect that as a member of the church.
That's right. We mentioned, Indonesia biggest Muslim country, Malaysia also big in Muslim. The constitutions of the country of Indonesia is not specifically Muslim. We also respect another religion. We mingle. Also in Malaysia, people are mingle, and the Muslim does really help us to. Their doctrine does really help us to see commandments of our religions better.
True, I agree. And even though I honestly feel like I learned a lot from them. And then earlier you mentioned that if looking back to both religion, we have a lot of common, and I think it's because these two religions came from they call it Abraham religion,
Oh,
which
yes.
is it came from Ishmael and Isaac.
Yes.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember.
Yeah, and then actually we are rooted from the same thing too. So something that I really like about that, we share the similar religious value, even though it's different in application too. They have their holy place.
Oh yeah.
We have been talking in like some Arabian word, and then for all of you who doesn't know why, this is the reason why they have their holy place in Saudi Arabia, and then that's a big thing for them if they can, save up and just fly there and then spend their time there. I really experienced that, even though like I'm Christian. I didn't have temple in Indonesia. That is so hard, but that is something that you would like to accomplish. It's not that God is not in my country or something like that, but there is something that it makes it special when you want to reach a place that you believe as a holy place, and then you prepare spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and then when you can fulfill all those things, you dedicate all these things to your God. So I remember my first time going to the temple in the Philippines. That takes a lot of courage for my family. I remember my family was like, okay, we don't go shopping for 2 months. We just need to save up so we can go to the temple as a family. So they apply the same principle. So this is something that I admire. We are applying something differently, but in this way we should respect each other because you know what? After all, we came from the same God, and we would like to return to His presence in the best way we know.
Yeah, and then it reminded me of my temple trip to the Philippines as well. So we don't have a temple in Malaysia, and similar to in Islam where they would go to Mecca to what they say to achieve the Haji,
Oh
the
yeah,
Hajj. Yeah.
Haji.
Like
So
our endowment.
yeah.
Oh yeah, true. I never think about it.
Yeah. So I remember that when I was 15, I went there with my parents. You know, you need to prepare yourself spiritually. And for the Muslim, they need to pay their zakat. Zakat means tithing, as the same as the members, and a lot of very similar. And yeah, it's. I remember that when I need to take a week off from school to go to the temple, Manila temple in the Philippines, I remember some of my classmates, they would ask me like, "Oh, why are you going into the Philippines? Like, are you half Filipino or something?" I said, "Oh, no, no, no." So to simplify the situation, I just told them that, "Oh, I'm going to Haji, but a Christian version of Haji, my church version," just to simplify. And it's like, "Oh, okay." It's really funny, but that's how I just explained it to them.
Is it the word in English is pilgrimage?
Yeah.
Pilgrimage,
Yes.
right? So it's
Sorry, English is now our first language.
I know. We kind of thinking Arab.
Yeah, we're like
English.
mixing a lot of languages here today.
That's right. That's right. And pilgrimage became kind of cultural also in both country, Malaysia and Indonesia. Well, we can also follow Muslim example. You know, they go to Mecca as much as they can. Um, Mutia also said they have requirement. If they can go again, they are allowed to. So same with us. If you can go to temple once, twice, or times, how many times you want, we should go.
Yeah.
So,
And I also believe that the Islamic culture influenced so much Indonesian and Malaysian culture in general. For example, you need to wash your feet before you go to bed. And what else? Like, you need to dress modestly.
that's right.
Yeah, modestly. So I think every individuals they define modesty in different ways, but generally I would say Indonesian and Malaysians they dress pretty modest.
Yeah.
Don't you all agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very modest in my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different culture with Western. So if you guys think modesty in different ways, all right, but you can also check in Google how modesty is Indonesia, Malaysia, or in maybe Muslim countries. So.
Yeah. And I really like it because the principles are the same. And anyway, talking about Ramadan, what's the personal insights that you'll learn?
Like take away from
Yes.
Ramadan, it's what you call faithfulness. They take it seriously. Sometimes I feel as a Christian, many commandments I just take it for granted. Oh, every first Sunday I fast, but just fast. But in Muslim, they do take it seriously and they know the blessing really well. If you guys only fast, not knowing what's the hope for it or the what you call purpose. What's the purpose for it? You just miss some point. We need to be like the Muslim friends. They know what they are doing when they're fasting. And they know the blessings. They know the doctrine and everything. We should do the same thing too. So me too. I need to not just follow the commandments, but I need to know what is it, and encourage others to do the same too.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gatot. This is purely my own perspective. In some ways, I do feel like I take things for granted as a Christian. And that is also a reason why I have so much respect for my Muslim friends and family because I see their religion somehow more strict, but these people, they are truly dedicated to their belief. And then I find it's really, really beautiful. And a part of me, I wish I could do that as well. So, but I guess, they're being a good example. So it kind of inspired me to do the same in my own terms.
Right, and that's what I'm saying about I'm a bit insecure sometimes. So, it's like, oh my God, you're so faithful, and me almost like in the corner. Okay, guys, I need to do the same.
So, long story short, we would like to thank you for all those Muslim around the world for your example, because even us, we're not holding the religion, but we see your light. And something that I would really like to see, like, hey, we're talking about Muslim here, but we are the member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Why is it important for us? As we can see that light. But I would like to quote again from Elder Gong. He said this: as we meet with Muslim leaders across the world, we talk about defending religious freedom. People of faith need to stand together for tolerance and dignity of people of all religion and belief. So we have an official pamphlet from the church that talk exactly about Muslim and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the similarities. And I think this is really unique for me because, you know what, we don't talk a lot about like any other religion, but this one, just because of the similarities and then our root, we can learn from each other. And anyway, is there anything that will make this Ramadan more special?
Read the pamphlet, guys. But that's for you. For me personally, I will continue to strengthen my communications with all friends, getting update from them. Is there any new iftar food? Just something small like that will make Ramadan more meaningful. Cause food unite everybody. You know the drill. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been thinking to challenge myself to do the fasting, Ramadan fasting, maybe for 3 days. If I could extend it for a week, then then it must be good. But I'm gonna try it sometime this week to see if I could handle that.
Right.
Yeah, and then the main point of that is actually just to try put aside our worldly thought and just focus about what matters most, which is something from heaven. Well, I would like to say that this is really the time we can look at each other, pay attention about what surrounded us, and we can always remember, hey, there are more than what we see. And Mikey, do you have anything to add to that?
So far, no. As you all know, I like to keep things simple, but let us see the Ramadan as something that we could improve to be a better person. And then you can always, if you want to learn more about Ramadan, there's a pamphlet about the Islam faith in the Gospel Library, or you can also Google it. If not, you can always ask Mutia, Gathot, and me, so we can share more information about it.
Right. And I just want to say disclaimer, I speak based on experience, life, a couple doctrine that I learned when I was kids and as I grew up. So if I have some miss here and there, just
please
remind
let us
us.
know, yeah. Because whatever we discuss tonight is purely based on our experience back home.
That's right.
Yeah, but if you want more like deep doctrine, you can always ask people who are more professional.
Yes. We can also link you guys to those professionals.
Yes, let us know.
Yeah.
All right. And again, thank you so much. Salam sejahtera. Assalamualaikum
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.